Welcome to the Military Stories, where we break down the latest developments in global conflicts. Today, we're diving into a critical moment in the Ukraine-Russia war, Ukraine's stunning counterstrikes that have turned Russia's ambitions in Donetsk into a fiery nightmare. Vladimir Putin aimed to drive a dagger into Ukraine's logistical heart in Pokrovsk, a key city in Donetsk. Instead, Ukraine unleashed a devastating response, crippling Russia's plans and leaving their forces in chaos. This is the story of how Ukraine turned the tables and why Putin's summer offensive is crumbling. Stick around to the end to learn what's next for this brutal conflict. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates on the Ukraine war. Let's set the stage. Pokrovsk, a small city in Ukraine's Donetsk region, is a linchpin in this war. Why? It's a logistical hub, sitting at a critical crossroads that allows Ukraine to funnel weapons, supplies, and troops to its forces fighting Russia's occupation in Donetsk. Think of it as the beating heart of Ukraine's eastern front. For Putin, capturing Pokrovsk is a top priority. It's just 12.4 miles from the Donetsk administrative border. If Russia takes Pokrovsk, they could push through to the border, claiming full control of Donetsk, a major strategic and symbolic victory. Ukraine, on the other hand, needs to hold Pokrovsk at all costs. Losing it would choke their supply lines and weaken their grip on Donetsk. Both sides know the stakes, and this summer, Putin launched a massive offensive to seize the city. According to Chuck Farah, writing for the Kyiv Post on July 9, 2025, Russia's plan was brutal in its simplicity: overwhelm Ukraine with sheer numbers and firepower. But as we'll see, Ukraine was ready to strike back. Putin's strategy for Pokrovsk was straightforward but ruthless. He amassed 110,000 troops in Donetsk, reinforcing the 8th Combined Arms Army already stationed there. These soldiers were backed by artillery, armored vehicles, and mechanized infantry, with a massive stockpile of ammunition to fuel the assault. The plan: human wave attacks, sending wave after wave of troops to batter Ukraine's defenses until they collapsed. It was a tactic designed to exhaust Ukraine's resources through attrition. To make this happen, Russia needed to position its forces carefully. In late spring, troops moved into staging areas around Donetsk, possibly using a brief ceasefire during Victory Day in May as cover. Leading this operation was Colonel Ruslan Goryachkin, handpicked by Putin for his organizational skills and brutal efficiency. Goryachkin set up a command center near Donetsk and ensured his forces were well supplied. A key part of his strategy was an ammunition depot in Khartsyzk, a settlement in occupied Donetsk. This facility held nearly all the weapons and munitions Russia planned to use in the Pokrovsk offensive: artillery shells, rockets, surface-to-air missiles, SAMs, and more. As Farah put it, Goryachkin had all his eggs in one basket. That decision would prove catastrophic. While Russia prepared its offensive, Ukraine was watching. Ukraine's signals intelligence SIGINT units were tracking Goryachkin's every move. Using advanced direction-finding technology, they analyzed signal traffic to pinpoint the exact location of Russia's command center, a metallurgical plant near Pokrovsk. This wasn't just any target. It was the nerve center of Russia's entire Pokrovsk operation. Ukraine knew that hitting it would deal a massive blow. But Ukraine didn't stop there. They also identified the Khartsyzk ammunition depot as a critical target. By targeting both the command center and the ammo dump, Ukraine could disrupt Russia's leadership and cut off their supplies in one fell swoop. The stage was set for a devastating counterstrike. On June 30, 2025, Ukraine launched its first blow. 6 Ukrainian strike fighters took off, heading toward Donetsk. 2 of the jets deployed ADM-160 mold decoys, electronic warfare tools designed to trick and distract Russia's air defenses. While the decoys drew fire, the other 4 jets unleashed Storm Shadow missiles, provided by the UK. These long-range, stealthy missiles zoomed toward their target, the metallurgical plant housing Goryachkin's command center. The strike was a masterclass in precision. Russia's air defenses, fooled by the decoys, fired at the wrong targets. The Storm Shadow missiles hit the plant, obliterating it in a fiery explosion. Goryachkin, his battle staff, and several subordinate commanders were killed instantly in one strike. Ukraine had decapitated Russia's Pokrovsk offensive. Without its leader, Russia's 110,000 troops were left disorganized, their human wave attacks reduced to chaos. Social media footage, including a telegram clip, showed the plant in flames, with Ukraine's anti-disinformation center head, Andriy Kovalenko, praising the precise work against Russian forces. For more details on this strike, check out our in-depth video on Goryachkin's fate, linked in the description. But Ukraine wasn't done yet. 2 days later, on July 2nd, Ukraine delivered the second half of its one-two punch. This time, the Security Service of Ukraine (SBU) took the lead, using drones to target the Khartsyzk ammunition depot. The SBU's drones slipped past Russia's weakened air defenses, striking the facility with deadly accuracy. The depot, packed with explosives, was a sympathetic target, meaning a single hit could trigger a chain reaction of secondary explosions. That's exactly what happened. The initial drone strikes ignited pallets of ammunition, setting off nearby shells and bombs. The resulting blasts lit up the night sky, with explosions so powerful they were felt 12.4 miles away. The Khartsyzk facility burned for hours, reducing Russia's stockpile of SAMs, rockets, and artillery shells to ash. This wasn't just a blow to the Pokrovsk offensive, it crippled Russia's ability to sustain operations across Donetsk. As Farah described it, the beating heart of Russia's logistics was gone. The double-tap strikes left Russia's forces in disarray. Without Goryachkin, the 8th Combined Arms Army had no clear leadership. Without the Khartsyzk depot, they had no ammunition to sustain their attacks. Putin's human wave tactics, already wasteful, became futile. Russian troops were now hung out to dry, as Farah put it, exposed, undergunned, and facing Ukraine's battle-hardened defenders. The loss of SIGINT was particularly devastating. Russia controls about 2/3 of Donetsk, according to the New York Times, and relies on SIGINT to defend that territory against Ukrainian counterattacks. With the Khartsyzk depot destroyed, Russia's air defenses are critically short on missiles. This has opened the skies for Ukraine's air force, which is now free to rain air Hammer-guided bombs on Russian positions. These French-made bomb kits turn Ukraine's dumb bombs into precision munitions, launchable from up to 43 miles away. On June 15th, a Ukrainian MiG-29 used hammer bombs to wipe out a Russian drone operator position in Donetsk. With Russia's SAMs depleted, these strikes will only increase. Ukraine isn't just relying on Western-supplied weapons. On June 25th, United 24 media reported that Ukraine developed its own glide kits for cab-dumb bombs, similar to Russia's glide bombs. These kits allow Ukraine to strike targets up to 37 miles away, with plans to extend the range to 49.7 miles. While production challenges remain, this development shows Ukraine's growing self-reliance. Combined with the 1,200 hammer kits France plans to supply by the end of 2025, Ukraine now has the tools to exploit Russia's weakened defenses in Donetsk. By July 11th, Putin's summer offensive was in tatters. His forces are still trying to push for Pokrovsk, but without leadership or ammunition, their attacks are weak and poorly supported. Putin's broader goal of capturing all of Donetsk and eventually all of Ukraine is slipping away. At a June Economic Forum in St. Petersburg, he claimed, "All of Ukraine is ours," but this bravado masks a grim reality. Ukraine's strikes have made it impossible for Russia to achieve its territorial goals in Donetsk. Pokrovsk is likely to remain in Ukrainian hands, dealing a major blow to Putin's plans and boosting Ukraine's morale as it fights to reclaim lost territory. Ukraine's success in Donetsk isn't just about protecting Pokrovsk. By destroying Russia's command structure and ammunition, Ukraine has created opportunities for counterattacks. With Russia's air defenses weakened, Ukrainian jets can strike deeper into occupied territory. The hammer bombs and Ukraine's new glide kits will make Russian positions increasingly vulnerable. Meanwhile, Putin faces a stark choice: continue throwing troops into a meat grinder with no hope of victory, or scale back his ambitions in Donetsk. Either way, Ukraine's resolve and ingenuity have shifted the momentum. For more on Ukraine's new glide bombs and their potential to change the war, check out our video linked in the description. It dives into how these weapons could haunt Russia's forces in Donetsk. Ukraine's devastating strikes in Donetsk show the power of strategy, intelligence, and precision over brute force. By targeting Russia's command center and ammunition depot, Ukraine didn't just stop Putin's offensive, it opened the door to reclaiming Donetsk. This is a turning point in the war, and we'll be here to cover every development. If you found this video insightful, hit the like button, subscribe to the Military Stories, and turn on notifications for more updates on the Ukraine war. Let us know in the comments what you think about Ukraine's strategy and what's next. For this conflict, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.